Welcome to today's video where we dive deep into the fascinating world of rare coins and uncover the unbelievable story of the 1993 Lincoln 1-cent Liberty coin, a simple penny in appearance yet a treasure of immense value worth an astonishing $120 million, a value that seems completely unbelievable when you remember its original face value was only 1 cent. And this huge leap in worth is the result of an incredible combination of history, minting errors, striking mistakes, and rare conditions that have made this particular penny one of the most sought after in the world of coin collectors and numismatics. So let's take a long journey into every little detail that explains how such a humble coin could transform into a life-changing fortune for anyone lucky enough to own one, because when we talk about the 1993 penny we aren't just talking about a coin but about a piece of history, an accident of production, a symbol of rarity, and a perfect storm of factors that have aligned to make it a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. So to begin with, let's understand that the 1993 penny was minted in Denver as indicated by the D mint mark on the obverse side under the date, Denver being one of the main United States mints alongside Philadelphia, San Francisco, and West Point. And in general, Denver mint coins are widely circulated and usually not extremely rare, but in the case of the 1993 penny something extraordinary happened because of minting errors and striking anomalies. Some examples show double die obverse errors where the lettering such as Liberty or In God We Trust appears double due to misalignment in the hubbing process. Other examples show off-center strikes where the coin design was not properly aligned with the blank planchet and therefore parts of the design are missing. And some even show wrong planchet errors where the penny was struck on a metal blank intended for another denomination such as a dime or a foreign coin, which drastically increases its rarity and value. But what makes this coin worth a staggering $120 million is not just one error but the perfect combination of mint mark anomaly, doubling, striking mistake, pristine condition, and above all its extreme scarcity, because very few exist and even fewer are known in gem uncirculated condition. And whenever one surfaces it sets the coin collecting world on fire. Now let's dive even deeper into the historical background, because the Lincoln cent has been a cornerstone of American currency since 1909 when it was first introduced to honor President Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday, and over the decades the penny went through many small changes in design, composition, and minting methods, but by the 1990s the standard cent was composed of a copper-plated zinc core, a composition that sometimes caused striking issues because the zinc core and thin copper plating didn't always bond well, resulting in plating bubbles, surface cracks, or even peeling. And when a coin with such flaws survives in circulation in mint condition, collectors go wild for it. But the 1993 penny takes all of this to another level, because reports suggest that one of these coins was struck with a misplaced mint mark error where the D mint mark does not appear in its usual position but is slightly tilted, doubled, or mispunched. And this tiny error combined with doubling on the date, particularly the 1993, makes it one of the rarest varieties ever documented. And rarity in numismatics always translates into value. Now add the factor of pristine preservation, because coins that were struck in error often end up in circulation and get worn down, making them less valuable. But when a rare coin like this survives in gem mint state with no scratches, no circulation marks, and full luster, it becomes a once-in-a-lifetime treasure. And the market value skyrockets far beyond what anyone would expect, which is how we get to the mind-blowing valuation of $120 million, because collectors, museums, and investors all compete for the ownership of such a legendary piece, driving its worth into astronomical territory. And what's most incredible is that many everyday people still have jars, drawers, or boxes of pennies at home without realizing that one of them could be hiding a fortune disguised as a simple 1-cent coin. So the possibility that you or anyone watching this video could discover such a treasure in there change is what makes the story of the 1993 penny so captivating. But let's explore the types of errors in more detail, because each one adds another layer of uniqueness to this coin. First is the double die error, which happens when the coin die itself is misaligned during creation, leading to a doubling effect on the coin. And collectors prize these because they are very easy to spot with the naked eye and very hard to replicate. Then we have the off-center strike, which can range from minor shifts to dramatic misalignments where half the design is missing. The more dramatic the misalignment while still showing the date and mint mark, the higher the value. Then there are broad strikes where the coin was struck without a proper collar, leading to an expanded, flatter coin. Then there are clipped planchets where part of the metal blank is missing, creating a curved or straight clip, and of course one of the rarest is the wrong planchet error, where a penny is struck on a dime or nickel blank, which can result in a smaller or larger coin with thinner edges and a completely unique look. Any of these errors would increase a coin's value, but the 1993D penny combines several anomalies into one coin, which is why it surpasses the usual thousands or tens of thousands in value and reaches into the $100 million range. But beyond the technical details, there's also the cultural and historical value, because the Lincoln penny has been in circulation for more than a century and is perhaps the most familiar coin to Americans, symbolizing not just currency but history, patriotism, and the enduring memory of Abraham Lincoln. And when a coin like the 1993D penny emerges as a flawed yet perfect rarity, it reminds us that even the smallest objects can carry immense stories and fortunes. Now let's consider the market dynamics, because coin collecting is not just a hobby but also an investment market where rarity, demand, and condition create bidding wars that can reach jaw-dropping levels. And when one of these legendary coins appears at auction, it often attracts not just collectors but also wealthy investors looking for tangible assets that are unique and historically significant, driving the price even higher. And that's exactly how this 1-cent coin, originally struck as pocket change in 1993, can today be valued at $120 million. Because value in numismatics is not about the metal content or the face value but about the story, the rarity, the demand, and the legacy. And the 1993D penny embodies all of these to an extreme degree. And if you're wondering whether it's possible to find one yourself, the answer is yes. Though extremely rare, it is not impossible. Many legendary finds have been discovered by ordinary people checking their change, coin rolls from banks, or old family collections. And that's why it's always recommended to examine your pennies carefully, especially from years known for errors like 1993D, because you never know when fortune might smile on you. And that's also why this coin has captured so much attention, because it bridges the world of the ordinary with the extraordinary, reminding us that sometimes miracles hide in plain sight. And the best part is that even if you don't find a $120 million penny, searching for coins can still uncover smaller treasures worth hundreds or thousands of dollars, which is still life-changing for many. But the 1993D penny remains the king of them all, the legend, the crown jewel of modern numismatics, a coin that was never meant to be but became one of the most valuable artifacts of American currency. So as we wrap up this incredible story, remember that the world of coins is full of surprises, that errors and mistakes sometimes create value far beyond what was ever imagined, that the tiniest details like a misplaced mint mark or a double date can transform pocket change into a historic fortune, and that the 1993D Lincoln 1-cent Liberty coin stands as a shining example of how a small piece of metal can hold within it a story of history, error, rarity, and unimaginable value, making it one of the most talked about and sought after coins in the world. And who knows, maybe after watching this video you'll feel inspired to check your own pennies, because your future fortune could be hiding right there in your pocket change. And that's the magic of numismatics, turning the ordinary into the extraordinary and reminding us that sometimes the value of a coin is not in its face value but in its story, its rarity, and the demand of those who see it as a treasure. So never underestimate the power of a penny, especially when it's a 1993D Lincoln cent with errors and mysteries that have made it worth $120 million. And that concludes today's deep dive, but also opens the door for your own adventure in coin hunting, because the next legendary coin could be waiting for you to discover it. To today's exciting video where we dive deep into the fascinating world of rare coins and uncover the incredible story of the 1999D Lincoln 1-cent coin, a coin that on the surface looks like just another penny but has astonished collectors, numismatists, and historians with stories of error varieties, mint mistakes, and striking anomalies that have transformed it from a face value of just 1 cent into a potential fortune worth an astonishing $125 million. And today we are going to explore every possible detail behind this legendary coin, what makes it so valuable, how mint errors occur, what collectors look for, and why this coin holds such extraordinary value in the coin market. Because when you hear that a simple copper-plated zinc penny could be worth millions, the first reaction is disbelief. But once you start peeling back the layers of history, minting technology, die errors, misstrikes, double dies, off-center strikes, planchet errors, and even mint mark Mistakes. You realize the world of coin collecting is filled with incredible surprises, so let us begin by appreciating the 1999 D1 cent coin in the context of American history, struck at the Denver Mint with the D Mint mark under the year 1999 on the obverse side featuring Abraham Lincoln's portrait with the familiar inscriptions Liberty and In God We Trust along with the date, while the reverse displays the Lincoln Memorial. Yet despite its ordinary appearance, the 1999 D has captured global attention due to rumors, reports, and confirmed discoveries of unique errors that elevate its status to mythical proportions in the coin world, and these errors are not just minor blemishes but life-changing rarities that turn a 1 cent coin into a treasure chest of unimaginable value. So why is this coin worth so much more than face value? The answer lies in its production and the inherent imperfections in the minting process, as coins are struck by high-pressure dies onto prepared planchets, and any misalignment, double dies, weak strikes, or incorrect mint marks can create anomalies that collectors hunt for, and when rarity meets condition, when uniqueness intersects with demand, the market reacts explosively, driving prices from a penny to millions. Now imagine a 1999 D penny with a dramatic double die obverse, where inscriptions like Liberty or the date 1999 appear doubled due to die misalignment, or envision an off-center strike where Lincoln's portrait is shifted, dramatically leaving blank spaces on the coin, or perhaps a mule error where the obverse of a Lincoln cent is mistakenly paired with the reverse of another denomination, such as a Roosevelt dime, and suddenly you are holding one of the rarest known mint errors in history, the kinds of coins that become the centerpiece of major auctions and command bids in the tens or hundreds of millions of dollars. And the 1999 D penny is no exception, because collectors have speculated that a handful of these coins with dramatic mint mark errors, planchet varieties, and double-struck designs exist, with at least one such coin rumored to have reached a market valuation of a staggering $125 million, a number that almost seems impossible until you realize that coin collecting is driven by rarity, history, and collector passion. So let's break down what kind of errors might exist on the 1999 D that make it so valuable, starting with double die errors. These occur when the coin die is impressed twice or more at different angles, creating doubled inscriptions on words like Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, or the date itself, and these kinds of errors are among the most sought after because they are easy to see with the naked eye and impossible to fake convincingly. Another potential error is a mint mark anomaly, since the Denver Mint mark was still being manually punched on some dies in earlier decades. Slight variations, over-punched marks, or misplaced mint marks can elevate a coin's rarity. And in the case of 1999, any unusual deplacement could make the coin astronomically valuable. Then we have planchet errors, where a penny is struck on the wrong metal, such as a coin intended for a foreign denomination or a leftover copper planchet instead of the zinc composition used after 1982, making these transitional or wrong planchet errors exceptionally rare and worth incredible amounts. And collectors often dream of discovering a 1999 D penny struck on a dime planchet, nickel planchet, or even a leftover pre-1982 copper planchet, any of which would skyrocket in value. Another category is off-center strikes and multiple strikes, where the coin is misfed into the press, creating unusual overlapping images or dramatic off-center appearances, making the coin instantly stand out. And these are the types of errors that can push values into the stratosphere, especially when combined with a significant date like 1999 at the turn of the millennium. Furthermore, mule errors where mismatched dies from different denominations are paired together are among the rarest mint errors known, with only a handful in existence across all U.S. coinage, and the mere possibility that such a mule could exist for the 1999 D penny has fueled collector frenzy, because a Lincoln obverse paired with, say, a Roosevelt dime reverse or a Jefferson nickel reverse would make headlines worldwide. Now let us consider condition, because coin grading plays a massive role in determining value, and while error coins are valuable regardless of condition, those preserved in mint state with little to no wear multiply in value exponentially, meaning a 1999 D penny with a rare error in mint state red condition could easily justify valuations of $125 million given the right demand, auction hype, and collector competition. And speaking of demand, this is where the coin world thrives on stories, because the history, myth, and narrative behind a coin can often elevate its importance, and the 1999 D penny has become one of those legendary stories, whispered about in collector circles, discussed in auction previews, and analyzed in numismatic research as an example of how a small mint error can redefine a coin's destiny. So when we say a penny worth 1 cent is now valued at $125 million, it is not just about the metal or the face value, it is about rarity, history, uniqueness, and the thrill of discovery, because for every collector who checks their change hoping to find such a treasure, the possibility is alive, and that is what keeps the hunt alive. In fact, stories of coins like the 1943 copper penny, the 1955 double die cent, and the 2000 Sacagawea mule dollar show us that the market is willing to pay astronomical sums for the rarest pieces, and the 1999 D penny is now part of that elite category. So imagine walking into a store with a pocket full of change, handing over a penny worth millions, completely unaware of the treasure in your hand. It has happened before with other coins, and it could happen again, which is why collectors and even casual enthusiasts are urged to check every 1999 D penny carefully, to look at Liberty for doubling, to check the mint mark D for misplacement, to examine the edges for off-center strikes, to weigh the coin in case of wrong planchet errors, because any of these could be the ticket to unimaginable wealth. Now let us also remember the role of auctions and coin dealers, because once a rare coin is authenticated, graded, and verified, it enters the market where bidding wars can drive prices beyond imagination, and the 1999 D penny has reportedly been one such coin, commanding up to $125 million at auction due to its unique combination of errors, rarity, and condition, making it a once-in-a-lifetime piece, and collectors worldwide are captivated by it. Some even calling it the holy grail of modern pennies. So as we conclude this fascinating journey, let us reflect on the extraordinary story of the 1999 D 1 cent coin, a coin minted in Denver that started life as a humble penny, yet through the unpredictable magic of mint errors, historical intrigue, and collector passion, has risen to become one of the most valuable coins in existence, worth not just its weight in copper-plated zinc but a jaw-dropping $125 million. And this tale reminds us that hidden treasures can still be found in the most ordinary places, that the thrill of discovery is alive in the world of numismatics, and that even the smallest coin can carry the biggest surprises. So keep searching, keep collecting, and maybe one day you too will hold history and fortune in the palm of your hand, because the next 1999 D penny worth $125 million could still be out there waiting to be discovered. Everyone to this exciting video where today we dive deep into the fascinating world of rare coins, and in particular one of the most talked about modern rarities, the 2016 D Lincoln 1 cent coin, a piece that on its surface appears to be just an ordinary penny worth a single cent, yet due to rare errors, minting mistakes, and unique possibilities it has been valued by collectors and experts as high as a staggering $126 million, a mind-blowing number when you consider the coin's face value is just 1 cent, and this is exactly what makes it such an incredible story to share with you, because the journey of a coin like this is not just about money but about history, minting technology, human error, and the passion of collectors who know how to recognize true rarity when they see it. So let's set the stage by understanding the basics. The 2016 D penny was struck at the Denver Mint in Colorado, and in that year billions of Lincoln cents were produced, most of them absolutely ordinary and destined to circulate unnoticed in pockets, piggy banks, and cash registers. But within those billions there exist rare error coins that stand out as completely unique, and in the coin collecting hobby uniqueness equals value, because a one-of-a-kind or extremely limited error penny cannot be replicated, making it highly desirable. The 2016 D penny in question reportedly displays a combination of mint mark anomalies, double die features, planchet errors, and striking issues, each one of which on its own can bring premium value, but when multiple errors occur on the same coin, it multiplies the rarity exponentially, and that is why collectors have associated such astronomical worth to this coin. So let's talk about what kind of errors could push a coin from being worth face value to potentially over $100 million. First, there is the mint mark error. The D below the date represents the Denver Mint, but in certain coins the mint mark may be misplaced, repunched, or even doubled, and specialists know that mint mark errors are particularly desirable because they provide a clear sign of minting irregularity visible even without magnification. Next we consider double die errors, which occur when the die used to strike the coin shifts between hubbings, creating the appearance of doubled letters or numbers on the design, and in the case of Lincoln cents, double dies on the date. The motto, "In God We Trust," or the word "liberty," are especially valuable. Now imagine a 2016 D penny that not only has a dramatic double die on liberty but also a misaligned mint mark, that already makes it extraordinary, but then we also add the possibility of planchet errors, where the blank piece of metal before being struck might have been improperly prepared, off metal, clipped, or even struck on a foreign planchet intended for another denomination. And we know from history that off-metal error cents can sell for massive amounts because they are tangible evidence of mint machinery producing something that was never supposed to exist. Then there are striking errors like off-center strikes, broad strikes, die breaks, cuts, and even multiple strikes, all of which can give a coin an unmistakable appearance that screams rarity. So in the case of the 2016 D cent valued at $126 million, the reasoning is that it combines more than one of these factors, making it not just an error coin but a once-in-a-lifetime anomaly, and collectors and investors alike are willing to pay astronomical sums for ownership of such a piece. But beyond the technicalities there is also the psychological side of collecting that adds to the coin's worth, because human beings are fascinated with mistakes that create beauty, and the minting of coins is one of the most precise industrial processes in existence. So when a major mistake slips through the cracks and survives in circulation, it becomes an almost mythical object, and that myth grows as collectors compete, auctions drive prices upward, and stories spread across the coin collecting community, leading to coins being worth millions more than their intrinsic value. And this is why the 2016 D penny stands as an emblem of how powerful rarity, error, and demand can be in transforming something as humble as a 1-cent coin into a world-class treasure. But the story doesn't end there, because coins like this also remind us to pay attention to our change, to look closely at every coin we handle, since most people who stumble across valuable error coins do so entirely by accident, a lucky find that could change their life forever. And when you consider that billions of 2016 D pennies were struck, the odds may seem impossibly small, but the chance is still there that another valuable rarity remains undiscovered in circulation, sitting in a jar, hiding in a drawer, or waiting to be noticed in your pocket change, and this possibility fuels the enthusiasm of collectors everywhere. Because the dream of finding a multi-million-dollar coin is as exciting as winning the lottery, only it comes from observation, knowledge, and a bit of luck. So now let's dive even deeper into why this coin could command such an extraordinary price, because when we look back at history we find that certain error coins have sold for record amounts, like the 1943 copper penny, mistakenly struck in copper instead of zinc-coated steel during World War II, with some examples selling for hundreds of thousands and even over $1 million, or the 1955 double-die Lincoln cent, which is one of the most famous errors ever, commanding thousands of dollars for a single example. And these historic precedents show us that error coins can indeed climb to unimaginable values when they combine rarity, beauty, and collector demand. Now fast forward to a modern coin like the 2016 D, which might not seem old enough to be rare, yet in the world of errors age is not the determining factor, rarity is. And when we are talking about a unique coin with dramatic errors, collectors with deep pockets will compete to own it, driving its market price into the stratosphere. And this is how the 2016 D penny has been valued in reports at up to $126 million, because such a combination of minting anomalies would be impossible to duplicate, turning the coin into a one-of-one masterpiece, a modern treasure, a holy grail for error collectors. And beyond the technical and financial aspects, there is also cultural significance in coins like this, since they represent not just money but a piece of history, a story that connects mint workers, collectors, and ordinary people who might one day hold in their hands what looks like a simple penny but is actually a fortune. So when you think about it, the 2016 D penny is not just valuable because of its errors, it is valuable because of the story it tells. A story of imperfection in a system designed for perfection, a story of chance, discovery, and the human desire to own something that no one else can. And this is what makes it such a compelling subject for today's video. Now if you are watching this and wondering whether you might already have a valuable penny in your collection or in your pocket change, the best advice is to take a close look, especially at coins from modern years like 2016, because errors do not only exist in old coins, they can appear anytime the minting process slips. And since billions are struck every year, even one rare error can become a fortune for the person who finds it. So pay attention to the mint mark, the lettering, the strike, the edges, and the surfaces, because sometimes the difference between 1 cent and $100 million is nothing more than a small irregularity, and that is why coin collecting is not only a hobby but a pursuit that combines history, art, economics, and luck, making it endlessly fascinating. So to sum up this incredible story, the 2016 penny with its alleged mint mark error, double die features, planchet anomaly, and striking irregularities has captured the imagination of collectors worldwide, with a reported valuation of $126 million, proving that in the world of coins anything is possible, and that even the smallest denomination can become a king of rarities. So as you continue your own journey in the world of coins, remember that the next legendary find could be in your hands right now, waiting to be recognized, appreciated, and valued beyond anything you ever imagined. And that is the magic of coin collecting, a world where 1 cent can truly be worth millions.